everybody. This is Franklin with OpenSourceVegan.com, and today I'm happy to share for you how I make tofu quiche. In this bowl is 1 tablespoon of yeast, 1 tablespoon of sugar in the raw, turbinado sugar, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour. And what I did with the flour is I mixed it half and half with whole wheat and white whole wheat flour. And I'm going to put in this mixture as well 1 cup of very warm water, and I'll mix it all together and form it into a ball. This recipe for the crust just turned out very perfect. I didn't have to add any water or any flour or anything. I kneaded it for a few minutes, and now I am going to let it rise. And what I'll do also is I'll cover this bowl with a towel and let it rise for 30 minutes. While I'm waiting for my bread to rise, I'm going to work on my tofu mixture. So I am going to saute 2 cups of onions and 2 cups of different colored peppers to start. I personally use a little bit of olive oil to saute my peppers and onions, but if you don't want to do that, you can use water instead. I finished sauteing the onions, and now I'm sauteing the peppers. And as I was sauteing the onions, the nice aroma of home cooking filled the house. For my tofu and my tofu quiche, I'm using Nano Soy Organic Extra Firm Tofu and also Nano Soy Organic Cube Super Firm Tofu. I would use 2 extra firm tofus, but all they had is these 2 different varieties, and both of them are 14 ounces. I'm really happy that I got organic tofu because tofu and corn are genetically modified, and as much as practically possible, I want to get organic, and I would encourage you to get organic. And if you even want to take it a step further, you can see right here that you can even get celery that's organic from Walmart. But if you were going to choose 2 items to get organic food from, it would be soy and corn. But again, I would do what is practically possible. It might not always be practically possible to do this, but this was available at Walmart, and so I took the best option for myself. Inside this bowl is 2 cups of sauteed peppers, 2 cups of sauteed onions. I also put in here 2 cups of celery, 4 teaspoons of rosemary, 2 14-ounce organic tofus, 1 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, and 4 teaspoons of cornstarch. I want to show you my cornstarch here. This is Rumsford's cornstarch, and this is non-genetically modified corn. Again, I said that if you were going to choose 2 items that were not genetically modified, it would be the corn and the soy. So that's what I personally have done for myself. This is not an item that you can find at Walmart, but again, I would do it as practically possible for yourself. I mixed everything together, and I added 1 tablespoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of onion powder, and 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. I'm going to put this mixture in the refrigerator, and I'm going to continue to work on my quiche crust. It's now been over 30 minutes, so I've let the yeast rise, and now I'm going to roll it out on a cookie sheet and then bake it in the oven at 350. Now I've spread my crust out on a sprayed cookie sheet, and what you'll like about this crust is it is very similar to the crust used for the apple turnover that I showed you in a previous YouTube video. And also what I've done with this crust specifically is I've made sure that I thinly rolled it out, and I'm just going to poke holes in it and then put it in the oven. Like I said in my apple turnovers YouTube video, I make sure that I poke holes in it because I don't want a bubbly crust. Also, what makes my crust roll out so nicely is because I use a rolling pin, and that is a very vital tool to make your tofu quiche look aesthetically pleasing. I just took my crust out of the oven after 15 minutes, and as you look at this crust, is not bubbly again because I poked holes in it. And now I'm going to put my tofu filling on top of it. This is how the filling looks on top of the crust. It's very colorful. Your friends and family will look at the colors and their mouth will start watering, and when they taste it, they'll love it. What I do is I let the yeast die, so I typically wait about a day or 2 before I eat the crust, and then I'll bake the crust and the filling together in the oven for another 30 to 40 minutes on 375. And if you want the recipe idea, go to OpenSourceVegan.com. OpenSourceVegan.com. Want to learn more about health? OpenSourceVegan.com highly recommends you read the book, The Ministry of Healing.